The last thing I'm going to show you here is actually a complete song called Cannonball Rag. We're going to be incorporating some of the same riffs that we worked on in the lesson today, and we're going to be using some of the same open string things and a little bit of finger picking, maybe a little bit of chicken picking going on here too. This is in the key of G. Let me play it for you one time and then we'll slow it down a little bit. Okay, let's slow this puppy down a little bit. We're going to start out here with the intro. Cool thing about this, if you notice what I did on the very first of this song, the first and second fingers just keep moving back one fret. All the notes you hear is mainly in the right hand section. You've got a syncopated thing going on here with I'm hitting the sixth string also with that. Go back one fret, start with the third string like we did before, hit the fifth string then. Because this is E7, go back one fret and you have A7, go back one more fret and you have D7. Go to this G chord here. You have your open string here with your G chord. Repeat that. This kind of gets into the Chet Atkins method here. This is the thing where you have the bass notes going all the time, the 5, 4, 6, 4. Let me break one of these down for you, and when we do this, we can play pretty much the next 4 chords, at least the next 3 chords. This is an E7. Play the third string open. This is the G. This is also a G. You're hitting 2 Gs together. But you don't want to do this like this and go hit the open string first. Then go to E7, hit the fifth string by itself. Now a quick lesson here, third finger with the right hand on the first string, second finger on the second string, first finger on the third string, and the thumb will take care of the bass notes. Hit the fifth string by itself, then pluck the fourth and first together, then hit the sixth by itself, then the second by itself, then fourth by itself. Now that's half the measure. The second half of the measure is like this. Hit 5 and 1 together, still holding the E7, second by itself, fourth by itself, back to the first, then sixth, and then fourth. That's the whole measure. Go to this A chord with the fourth finger down on the B note and do the very same thing with the right hand, exactly. You do the D7 almost the same way with the exception of the very end of it. Now the second finger of the left hand has to play this note. Right here, 6 and 1, and then your fourth finger comes up here one more fret and you play 4 and 1. Then back to the G chord. And hit the 5th by itself, and then 4 and 2 together, and then 6th, and then 3. Notice my 4th finger of the left hand has to come up to the D note up here. You repeat from the 1st again, or at least from the 1st of this part. Most of the time when I'm playing this full speed, I'm kind of muting out this, kind of dampening this back here, just on the bass strings. Kind of gives it a rhythmic percussive sound. The second time you go to the G chord, you just kind of finish this out by going. Keep the bass notes going 5, 4, 6, 4. Now the chorus section of this goes like this. This is a little bit like the riff we did earlier that went, except it's a little bit simpler in the fact that you have the D7 chord, which is fingered this way. You go straight down 3, 2, 1, and then take your first finger off on the left hand. This riff is played 5 times, so it goes, it starts out being down, down, up, down, up, down, except you're picking out the notes like this. Go to your G triad, which is here, cover 2 strings, 2nd finger here. Do the same thing with this riff. Repeat the 1st chord again, which is D7. Then we do this. Little chromatic riff. Start with the 4th fret of the 3rd string, 2nd finger, and you hit 2 open strings after this. 2nd string open, 1st string open. Go back to the 3rd fret. And when you slow this down, it kind of sounds funky, but when you get it in time, it'll sound good. 2nd finger on the 4th string. Okay, all the way up. 4th fret of the 4th string, 4th fret of the 5th string. The thing about this, you keep your right hand flowing. You play the left hand kind of choppy on purpose. You do it like this. Bump. That's kind of the beauty of that one, because you have a choppy note with 2 notes ringing after it. We've finished the first half of the song. We're going to go to the second half now, which includes more of the straight picking. So we're going to go back to the same chords again, which is E, A, D, G. And we're going to incorporate one of the licks that we used earlier. We're not going to go all the way down with that one like we did earlier, but we're just going to go do part of that. Then we're going to go to the A chord. We've used this one. Except kind of straighten out the end of that instead of going. Now this one here we haven't done. It's kind of a little galloping guitar type thing. This D chord. Hammer onto this. Back to the G chord. This is the same type right hand that we did before. Then we went to this E chord up here. This is new. Little pull-off thing. Go to the A, do the same thing. You could go back and do this again if you wanted to. Then go to the G. Okay, that's pretty much the whole song of Cannonball Rag. What we haven't done yet is after this part the first time, You're actually going to do a chord thing where you pluck the C, C diminished, G, and you're hitting on the C chord the first three, then the fifth string, then the C sharp diminished, G the first three notes, and then the sixth string, E7, go to your A with your finger down here, bass note by itself, and then pluck the first three, go to the D7, first three, little syncopated thing there. Let me start from the A again, G, and then do the second half of this.